so these are called these are called here, the option that we can see on the field when you once right click is called quick table calculations, and whatever you write in a field they are called custom table calculations. So now let's quickly see. So given the table that I have on the sheet, let's say I want to get the running total calculation. Okay, I'll quickly do the quick table calculation running total, and I'll change the compute using pane now. Okay, and I'll also bring my sales for comparison. Yep. Now I have sales as my first column and running total as my second column, and this is going for every year. So for this year it's summing up all, and for second year it's summing up again, and this is, but now let's say I want it's taking cumulative up until here, and it's restarting the calculation again here. Now let's say I want the calculation for see, let's go to editable calculation. Otherwise, yeah, it's doing the calculation in that scope. Let's say I want to calculate at the scope of furniture. Like I don't want this to stop here and restart for every year. I want this running total to continue up until it finishes up with what particular category. So how would I go about it? So this is also my pain. Furniture is also a kind of pain for me. But when I do pain down calculation, it's considering the innermost pain, which is at this point in time year. So it's only doing here. So if I want for category, the running total should go up until here. What do you think we can do here? My pain down option is not doing. If I go for table down, it will calculate for everything, for all the categories combined together, and these things will won't work in this case. Cell, it will only give for that. So we have no other option but to use a specific dimension in this particular case. So all the default options that were given by Tableau will not help us. So we can go to specific dimensions, and what I want. So for every category, so I'll leave that category unchecked. For every category, calculate my running total for every year and quarter combination. So I'll year and quarter combination. So my running total is expanded to the scope that is required. So this is again just like helping you like recap with the topic. So yeah, that's one thing. And now let's say on the same topic, I just want to take questions that you guys asked previously. So let me go to editable calculation. Now if you can see my calculation here, the dialog box, if you can observe it, whenever I'm let's see, when I select pane down, only the dialog box, I am getting a new options when I change my scope. When I doing pane down, I'm not getting additional options. When I'm looking for specific dimensions, I'm only having sort order option. But when I'm doing specific dimensions and for every year and quarter, I'm getting a restarting at every. So this is something. Please just give me a second. Yeah, let's take it's the same example. I think there's something I missed there. So yeah, I got the same structure and I did the running total for the category scope. Now when I'm doing that, I'm getting a option at the level. The Jairam asked this question earlier. So what this tells us is whenever you're doing a defined scope and direction, like pane down, pane across, and then the information that you're giving to the Tableau for calculation is this one. One is pane, which is the scope that defines the yellow region scope, and you're telling down, that you're also giving it a direction. But that's the only two attributes that you're knowing that you're giving. But there is one attribute that you are giving without knowing, that is the structure of the table, the order in which each of these fields are placed. Like first comes category, then comes year, then comes quarter. That order is also being given to the calculation when you select these default options. But when you go to the specific dimensions, it is possible that your view will not be the same. The reason that you choose specific dimensions is, okay, whatever that view might happen, it might be possible that I'll take this year field from this view completely and I'll put that in a details card. So this year column will not be anymore in the view. The table completely changes. But even then, my calculation should not be affected. So that's why I'll come to specific dimensions and I'll specify how to calculate using this particular field set. Now, when you go to specific dimension, there is no longer a table. There is no longer a view. It's only the fields. Now you have to, using this check and unchecked, you are giving the scope and you are giving the direction. But now you have to give it the calculation, the structure in which order it is the table or the fields have to be calculated. For example, I have year and quarter. It could be possible that if I just swap these things, like first comes the quarter and then comes the year, my calculation would affect completely. So in order to handle those kind of situation, when you are using specific dimensions, it is given this particular option. So whenever you have two or more checked boxes, like if I have only one checked boxes, this is not required. Whenever I have two or more checked boxes, this particular prompt will be asked by the Tableau. So what it means is, what it tells is, so I want this calculation to be done at the deepest level in this particular checked boxes. I have year and quarter. What is the most deepest level of detail? It is quarter, and the Tableau automatically recognizes it and puts it as deepest as default. If I change it to quarter, since the deepest and quarter are same, my calculation would not change. But if I put it as year, my deepest calculation, my level of detail calculation is this. So what it's doing, this is my sales value. It's just duplicating whatever it is. So it is no running total. It is doing running total, but it's only doing for this particular cell. So it becomes calculation for every row. It is being calculated. So in order to now let's see the same case. So I did this specific dimension at the level year, right? And it's calculating for every cell and it is just duplicating the sales value. Now let's go to our other structure of the table where my quarter comes first and the year comes second, and do the same calculation, edit table calculation. I did the same thing, and at the level I'm doing year. Now if you can see, it's not doing at the same cell level. It's taking cumulative. It's taking 109, 135, it's adding to 109, it's getting 245. So yeah, so this is just to give the Tableau an understanding of how.
No, Jagadish, where did you change the structure just now?
I swapped the fields here. Year before it was year and quarter in this sheet.
Okay.
So first comes year and then comes quarter.
No, but in this case, when you specified year,
yeah,
why is the running sum not incrementing? I thought, year came first and then the quarter, right?
Yes.
So, which is the logical order. And so in that case, why is it not incrementing so far as that particular field is concerned?
Because we fixed this thing. We fixed at the level calculation for only till year. We are not allowing the calculation to go up until this column. So what it's taking is, I have a 2011. I have 2011 as 4 rows, and it's just calculating for each and every row. So I don't know if that's clear, but see, if I put it as a deepest, like let's say if I want the calculation to take into consideration this field, go up until quarter, it will do the calculation. It will do the sum calculation. but when I stop it only till here, year date, it considers it kind of neglects this quarters, and it only calculates till the specified this column, and considers each of that as a single cell.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, understood.
Jagadish, 2014 quarter one having 668, right? 68818. No, that's running sum.
28 what? Which year?
2014 quarter one. Yeah. So that basically sum of quarter one in all the previous years, like 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2014.
Let's check the calculation. Running total. Yeah. No. Is it?
Yeah. Yes.
So 935. Yeah, you're right actually. So it's basically what it's doing is it's okay. It's taking the running sum across years. Okay. So 2011
splitting the in the quarter.
So 2011 quarter one, 2012 quarter one, and it's all taking. So my this value and this value, and this value are in my running total sequence, and likewise the other quarter values are in other running total sequence. So this is a little complicated. Very rarely we use this particular field. But yeah, you might have to spend some time to get more comfortable with that. So that's at the level thing. And there is one more question. Yeah, this one. So let me just have my ear on columns and pull my sales to put it as a bar graph. Yeah, Chaitanya, the question that you asked was like, where will we use the scope of the cell? So edit table calculation. So let's say if I have in each year I have sales which are split up based on the segment in which they belong to. Okay. Now it's showing me percentage of the total. So in 2011 of the total sales that happened, okay, the table calculation is across, it doesn't make any sense. So the cell is basically used to get something like this particular chart. So what it's giving me here is of all the sales, it's giving me the percentage values. So before it was giving me the percentage values, but it's not giving me. I can, okay. Let me just do that as well. So I have this. I have here quick table calculation. Compete using table down. Okay, it doesn't make any difference because there is only one cell in the table down. Okay. So yeah, normally sales is used to split the particular cell value in terms of the percentages. So this is the use case that we typically use the cell for. So in this particular, of all the sales that happened in 2011, 51% came from the consumer segment, 30% came from corporate, and 70% and likewise. So this is where we typically use sales.